It's definitely slick weather conditions out there now on the circuit. It dries so quickly here at LYL. Don't forget, we're 120 feet above sea level at this point, and it's very hot indeed in Malaysia anyway, particularly in this part of Selangor. So when it's dry, it's very, very quick to dry out the circuit, and we end up having a really reasonable run of it. The senior drivers warming up and getting ready for the show. So as the field goes around to warm up the tyres and brakes to optimum temperature, you can see the drivers' positions on your screens. And it's definitely a very competitive one again, but this time on slicks. So it's time to put two of the fastest young men in the senior X30 field on the front row of the starting grid. Andrea Galimberti versus Shun Sekiguchi. This should be an absolutely fascinating duel. Andrea Galimberti is probably one of the unluckiest men in the field in 2026. At least 2 podium finishes in the finals this year, robbed through bad luck and mechanical misfortune. But this time, he is adamant. I'm going to win this final, and I'm going to win it my way. So Andrea Galimberti determined to make it work. But alongside him, Shun Sekiguchi of the Gold Motorsport team from Japan, the son of the legendary sports car and single-seater racer Yui Sekiguchi, with Shun there on the front row of the grid, definitely proving that the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. But the man in third position has got to be watched out for, Michele Masurier, on the Teoh Kart for Stratos Motorsport. They had a bit of an issue with setup yesterday. That's what kept Michele Masurier off the top spot. But they know exactly what went wrong. They're looking to cure it, and they think they've got the pace for today. Of course, it's rained since then, so hopefully they've been on top of the situation. But Dylan Tan is alongside him. He's definitely going to be a top contender. And don't count out Zadiev Raikal of Malaysia, alongside Dominic Setiavan, the Komodo Dragon, P6 on the grid. Travis Teoh alongside Toby Gale. Then Paco Sarmiento of the Philippines. Sonny Ratcliffe in 10th place alongside him. Then Dylan Lowe is alone on row 6 from Li Wei Chen. Ryan Gunawardena. And then Sraunuras Papachiya Yamchan from Aidan Forbes, Amir Danish, Melvin Shane, Caleb Tan, and Michael Henderson. They come off the final turn, and we're going to go to race conditions. Off we go. Great start for the Masurier. He pulls across to keep back Sekiguchi. Galimberti snides through turn 1. Raikal bangs into the Masurier, and they both go out wide. Galimberti gets away with it. Fantastic. He dodges the drama as several karts have gone wide on the far side, and there's problems on slicks already. It's not perfectly bone dry, and so it's still a little bit slippy out there on slick tyres. As Galimberti leads the way, everybody is doing their best to get up to speed. Have they all gone for slicks a little too early? I'll tell you what, it's certainly making an exciting opening lap as Galimberti leads the way, but only just in front of Travis Teoh. Here comes the fireball on the inside. An amazing charge through the field for the 2-3-1. Sonny Ratcliffe. Sonny Ratcliffe all the way up into third position, fourth position now on the opening lap. And into the lead goes the man up front. No longer Andrea Galimberti. It's the Birla of Toby Gale. How did he do that? Absolutely extraordinary from Toby Gale. An absolute steal from the tie. Just a stunning bit of racecraft. And still, Toby Gale seems to find ways of impressing us just when we think we've seen everything. Second place now is Galimberti. Trying to fight his way back into it. In fact, he's not in second. It's Teoh, then Dylan Tan, then Galimberti, who's made the move back again on Sonny Ratcliffe. Absolutely astonishing scenes here. And now we've got to push through from Sraunuras, who's going to try and take on the Philippines youngster Paco Sarmiento. Very tough scenes here as Galimberti's trying to salvage this win back again. Pole position on slick tyres, but maybe it was too early. Ratcliffe's going for it on Galimberti, and he's back in front. Fantastic bit of racecraft from Sonny Ratcliffe. Still new to IAME Series Asia. Galimberti's going to try and get him back again in the next apex. Oh, he forces the issue. He makes Ratcliffe bow out of the corner. Galimberti taking the place with smart racecraft. So it's Gale, Teoh, Tan, Galimberti, Ratcliffe and Setiovan. Sarmiento, Anoras, Forbes and Raikal in the top 10. Aidan Forbes up there in the top 10 having a great race. So Aidan Forbes is making a real play of this and fighting his way forward. Oh, somebody's slowing. Somebody's slowing there at the top of the hill. It's one of the Tony karts. Losing a lot of places. So somebody losing some big ground there on the far side. I think that might be Aidan Forbes. Michaela Masurier, by the way, is all the way down in 13th after the start. Not what he needed at all. And it is indeed Aidan Forbes who slips all the way to 12th position, unfortunately. Meanwhile, still a decent battle up front as Dylan Tan is trying to chase after Travis Teoh. God, they're really having to throw the kart around to gain some positions here and try and get more out of the tyres. Big battle further back as Setiovan dives in on the inside of Sarmiento and Anoras to defend the position. But it really is looking to be pretty tricky out there as the top 5 are well clear. Here's the battle of a 6th position, and look at it. Setiovan, Sarmiento, Anoras, the Masurier, and that looks to be Melvin Shane, I think, in the middle of it all. Down to the braking zone for the chicane and trying to stay hungry out there. Not easy. The battle for 9th. Zariev Raikal and Michaela Masurier, really innocent victims of what happened in the first turn. But nobody really made any silly moves. It was just difficult to find the grip at a flat-out turn 1 on slicks on the first time. And everyone was sliding around. So now Setiovan trying to defend from the Masurier. My goodness me, that really needed some proper skills from Le Masurier to hold on to that one. What an amazing bit of racecraft from Le Masurier. Lightning reflexes from the Australian. And now he's got to try and keep Sarmiento at bay. Too late, Sarmiento's gone. So as Sarmiento gets through, Setiovan, Sarmiento, Le Masurier, and here comes Aidan Forbes again in 10th place. Meanwhile, Toby Gale is leading for the first time this weekend, and it couldn't be better time for him. Still shuffling the deck. That's Shun Sakaguchi trying to move his way back up the order. So the Japanese driver really caught out at the start. He was second on the grid, don't forget. Sakaguchi, Le Masurier, and Raikal all got caught out on the first lap, and they all lost masses of positions. They're all now wrestling to try and work their way back on a circuit that isn't really giving them what they want. Out to the inside. And Anoras thought he had a move there on the inside line. Oh no, sorry, that's the 202. That's Ryan Gunawardena. So Ryan Gunawardena, the Sri Lankan, trying to work his way through on the inside. Very much following in the footsteps of Yvan David, who came through this paddock so many years ago. Now he's racing in FIA Formula 3, of course, having recently taken a second place finish at the British Grand Prix. Roll on the talent from Sri Lanka. There's quite a bit of it this weekend, of course, because we've also got Lennon Barchi in junior, and we've got Tanesha Radella in cadet. So Sri Lanka well represented this weekend in IAME Series Asia. Le Masurier, meanwhile, is trying to get back on terms with Paco Sarmiento. And look at the top 4. They're tightening up. Gale, Tan, Teoh, Galimberti. 4 of the best drivers in the world in Senior X30. And they're absolutely on it. Gale, Dylan Tan, Travis Teoh, and Andrea Galimberti all tight together as Toby Gale can't get away from Dylan Tan. Gale looks over his shoulder. It's also a fascinating challenge up in the 4 different teams we've got up here. Birolart Asia, LOR Racing, DRM Paralin, and the Top 1 Motorsport team. 2 kart republics, a Birolart and a Paralin. And 4 very different racing lines as well. So Toby Gale leads Tan, Teoh, and Galimberti. 5th position, Sonny Ratcliffe. So impressed with Ratcliffe this weekend. Coming in as a first-timer in Senior X30, and he's shown some real flair and real pace. Raikal, P6 again from Setiovan, Le Masurier, Sarmiento, Gunawardena, Anoras, and Aidan Forbes. Shun Sakaguchi 13th from Amir Danish, Melvin Shane, Dylan Lowe, Banya Yamchan, Lee Wei Tsen, Michael Henderson, and Caleb Tan. But Dylan Tan is trying to close up on Toby Gale for the lead. The top four well clear. Goodness me, they are well clear. Sonny Ratcliffe is about 2 seconds back, and then there is Zadia Breikau on his own. Setyavan, Namasuriye, Gunnar Vordina, and Paco Sarmiento. Some amazing battles in the midfield, just as there is at the front. The drivers continuing to put on a decent show as they run their way through. But it is a very competitive and very even field as the drivers try to get a little bit more out of their tyres in the final 5 laps. But of course, the slick tyres have not had the same punishment that they usually do. Whoa! Lovely move on the inside up the hill from Ahmed Danish. Ahmed Danish finds the inside line and finds the space to go with him there. That is the 2.29 of Dylan Lowe. He gets through on the 2.99 of Aidan Forbes as well. The tyres seem to be dropping a little bit there. So as a result, it's getting pretty spicy. And the competition is really starting to look intense at that midfield. Meanwhile, though, Toby Gale has suddenly found a qualifying lap and pulled clear of Dylan Tan. And now Sonny Ratcliffe has closed up on the rest. So Sonny Ratcliffe is closing up as Travis Teoh has got ahead of Andrea Galimberti again. Galimberti was up to third. Teoh's got back in front, and now he's going to try and take on Dylan Tan as Sonny Ratcliffe closes up on the Italian, Andrea Galimberti. Here's the move. Ratcliffe tries. He gets it. Excellently done. Galimberti trying to wrestle his way back. You're going to have to wait, Andrea. Sonny Ratcliffe puts Fireball back into the top 5 in Senior X30 for the first time in ages. Wonderful to see. Morgan Loganathan's crew back in the top 5, courtesy of Sonny Ratcliffe. So through turn 1, Sonny Ratcliffe really has found the sweet spot, but Galimberti's got bags of pace in a straight line. He's going to dive on the inside, and he'll take 4th position at the hairpin back again. Galimberti back into 4th place. Ratcliffe's coming back at him, side by side. Ratcliffe versus Galimberti. Galimberti's made it for the moment, but Ratcliffe trying to come back at him. Sonny Ratcliffe just will not relent. This is wonderful racing. And as soon as Galimberti's got through, Ratcliffe's going to come back at him. Dives to the inside. Big move. Ratcliffe takes Galimberti back. Fantastic. These two men absolutely on the limit of what they can do. And Ratcliffe and Galimberti, it's almost personal between these two now. Ratcliffe makes it stick. Galimberti down to 5th. And he will be enraged. So frustrated for sure. So up to the final hairpin again. And Ratcliffe's put a bit of daylight between himself and the moves. The big one is going to come from Dylan Tan in turn 1. He's gone up to Gale. And Gale is now a sitting target for Tan and Teoh. Dylan Tan trying to squeeze through. Gale cuts across with 2 laps to go. Dylan Tan makes it. Gale going to come back on the inside. Teoh going with him. 3 wide. Gale holds on to it. Dylan Tan trying to come back. They're sideways. Travis Teoh sweeps in. Travis Teoh sweeps in on both of them and takes the lead away. Stunning from Travis Teoh. Read the racing beautifully and switched back on them from 3rd to 1st. Travis Teoh, that's why he's a Senior X30 champion. Don't you forget it. Wonderful from Travis Teoh. Now Toby Gale's going to try and fight him back. Gale looking for the move as they go up the bridge. All 3 of these drivers are really struggling for grip. Up the hill, over the crest, down the drop. We've got just over a lap to go. Wide from Teoh. Gale's going to make the move in the final bend. And Gale takes the lead again. This is going to go down to the flag. 1 lap to go. Gale looks over his shoulder. Teoh's still there. He'll cut to the inside. Gale's already there to respond. Watch out for Dylan Tan in the background. He'll try and pick up the moves on them both. Gale sideways. Wide from Teoh. Dylan Tan cuts back around the outside. Oh, he's on the curbs. Sideways as he cuts through. Gale goes sideways. Dylan Tan backs wheels. They've gone wide. And Teoh's done it again. Yet again, in 2 consecutive laps, Travis Teoh finds the overtake of overtakes on the penultimate and the final lap. Unbelievable. This race has got all the hallmarks of a final, and it's only heat 3. Travis Teoh was right there for the taking as Dylan Tan and Toby Gale get into the wars. But Travis Teoh's got all the time in the world now. Gale in second, Tan in third, Galimberti back in front of Ratcliffe, and they're going to scrap to the last line. Ratcliffe slides in on Galimberti, gets 4th place in the penultimate turn, and it's Travis Teoh. What a stunner from Travis Teoh. Gale in second, Dylan Tan third, from Sally Ratcliffe and Andrea Galimberti. That is one of the best heats you're ever going to see. And Travis Teoh pulls off the impossible move twice. Absolutely stunning racing. Travis Teoh has to dig deep on multiple occasions to find the magic to grab the win. Toby Gale second, Dylan Tan in third. Oh my word. Just when you think you've seen everything you're going to see in a weekend from Senior X30, you get a duel like that. Magic, pure magic from Senior X30 again. This really is the best racing in the world. You could put Formula One in front of me. You could put the Le Mans 24 Hours in front of me. You could put the Indy 500 in front of me. They're all great. They're all amazing. But they can't give you what karting can. You just don't know what's coming. From one lap to the next, you've got no idea. Absolutely astonishing. Yet again, pound for pound, quality for quantity. There's nothing like X30 racing. IAME, endless. Grazie tutti. Absolutely amazing again. And Travis Teoh delivers. The former Senior X30 champion, really starting now to get back to his best. He took a long time out of the seat, but it looks like he's never been away. Pure majesty from Travis Teoh. 2 laps in a row, finding the move to grab the win. It's one thing to make a move like that once in a race, but twice on 2 consecutive laps, both of them being the last laps, that's pure magic. And Travis Teoh getting back to what he does best. Absolutely amazing. Let's have a quick word. Travis, I've seen you make some moves in this sport, but that last lap, that's really put some thunder back in your pipes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I was lucky 2 times where Dylan tried to go the move of Toby and where they both go wide. And on the last lap, they both tangle a bit, which gave me a gap to pull away and secure the win.
From your position when you were trying to chase after them, would you say it started to get a little bit personal out there, or is there a desperation to try and get these results in the bag? Is it just general?
I mean, it's still in the heats. I'm trying to stay safe, finish off the heats, and yeah, we fight for the pre-final and final later on.
Some great results for you this weekend. Super heat coming up. Confident going in?
Yes. Thank you.
Nice and simple. Well done, Travis. We'll have a quick word, if we can, with Toby Gale after a fantastic race with Dylan Tan. I'd like to have a word with Dylan as well, but he seems to be